Imagine a land untouched by time, a place where forests whisper secrets of ancient ancestors, deserts burn gold under endless skies, and jagged stone spires pierce the heavens. Welcome to Madagascar, the world's strangest island. From the lush rainforests of the east to the fiery sunsets of the south, from soaring lemurs to hidden coral reefs, every corner of this island holds a story waiting to be discovered. Join us as we journey through lands of unimaginable beauty, where life thrives against the odds, where nature reigns supreme, and where every step connects you to a world unlike any other on Earth. This is Madagascar, untamed, wild, and endlessly magical. Your adventure begins now. Madagascar as a world unlike any other, a place where nature rewrote the rules. Introduce its ancient isolation from Africa, its mysterious landscapes, and how 90% of its wildlife exists nowhere else on Earth. Set the tone. Madagascar is not just strange, it's otherworldly. Imagine a land so strange it feels like another planet, where trees grow upside down, where ancient creatures leap through misty forests, and where nature itself seems to have broken free from the rules that govern the rest of the world. This is Madagascar, a forgotten island born from the fractures of ancient continents, left alone long enough for life to evolve into something entirely new. Scientists call it an evolutionary laboratory. Travelers call it a paradise. But to those who've walked its red earth, stood beneath its alien trees, and heard the cries of lemurs at dawn, Madagascar feels like a dream you never want to wake from. Drifting in the Indian Ocean, 400 kilometers off the coast of Africa, Madagascar separated from the supercontinent Gondwana nearly 90 million years ago. Since then, it has lived in isolation, untouched by the migrations that shaped Africa's wildlife. Here, time moved differently. Life reinvented itself. The result is a world where 90% of species exist nowhere else on Earth, a staggering testament to the power of isolation and evolution. Every step, every sound, every color on this island tells a story that stretches back into prehistory. As dawn breaks over the eastern rainforest, the world awakens in song. Mist rolls over the canopy, glowing gold in the sunlight. From deep within, a haunting call echoes the voice of the Indri, the largest of Madagascar's lemurs. Their calls rise and fall like music, drifting through the trees. These forests, older than humanity itself, pulse with unseen life, chameleons blending with bark, frogs smaller than a fingernail, orchids clinging to every branch. To walk here is to step into an ancient cathedral of green, where the air itself feels alive. For Madagascar is a land of contrasts. From lush rainforest to arid desert, from coral coastlines to jagged stone pinnacles, it's a mosaic of extremes. Travel west, and the scenery transforms. The humid forests give way to savannas and baobab-dotted plains. The wind carries red dust across the horizon, and the earth burns with color. It's easy to see why locals call this place the Red Island. Every shade of crimson tells a story of erosion, of time, of landscapes constantly being shaped and reshaped by the elements. Yet beneath its beauty lies mystery. Scientists are still uncovering secrets hidden in its soils, fossils of giant lemurs that once roamed freely, ancient reptiles that vanished with time, and plants that seem to defy logic. Even today, new species are discovered each year. Tiny frogs with translucent skin, moths that mimic leaves, snakes that glow under ultraviolet light. Madagascar is proof that the world's greatest wonders aren't always found in the stars. Sometimes they're here, hiding in plain sight. Life on this island doesn't just survive, it thrives against the odds. The fossa, Madagascar's elusive predator, prowls silently through the undergrowth. The chameleons, masters of adaptation, shift color with emotion and light, their eyes moving in two directions at once. Every creature here tells a story of survival written by isolation, adaptation, and resilience. But beyond its wilderness lies another heartbeat: the people of Madagascar. a tapestry woven from Asian, African, and Arabian roots. The Malagasy people live in harmony with their environment, their culture shaped by the island's diversity. Their language, their music, their legends, all carry echoes of ancient journeys across the sea. In every village, the rhythm of life feels timeless, guided by respect for ancestors and deep reverence for the natural world. Madagascar isn't just a place you see, it's a place you feel. It's the whisper of the wind through baobab trees, the laughter of children in dusty markets, the shimmer of turquoise water on a coral reef. It's the wild, untamed heartbeat of an island that reminds us how incredible our planet can be when left to its own imagination. As the sun sets and the island is bathed in gold, the air fills once more with sound, the chirping of insects, the rustle of branches, the distant cries of lemurs, echoing like spirits across the valley. Madagascar breathes, and the world seems to hold its breath. For here, in this strange and sacred place, life still exists in its purest, most extraordinary form. This is just the beginning of the journey, the first glimpse into a land that defies expectations and rewrites the definition of wonder. Madagascar, the island time forgot, yet somehow, the one that remembers what the world once was. Describe how these stone forests were carved by time, and how rare species adapted to life among knife-edged rock towers. Make it feel like an alien planet hidden on Earth. The landscape shifts from jungle green to shimmering gray, and suddenly, the ground itself becomes a fortress of stone. Imagine a forest, not of trees, but of jagged limestone towers, blades of rock rising hundreds of feet into the sky, slicing through the clouds like the spines of a sleeping giant. This is the Tsingy de Bemaraha, one of Madagascar's most surreal and forbidding wonders, a place so bizarre that even light struggles to find a way through its maze of razor-sharp peaks. It feels less like part of Earth and more like a world that forgot to follow its rules. The word Tsingy comes from the Malagasy phrase, the place where one cannot walk barefoot. And it's easy to see why. The limestone here is so sharp, so anciently carved by time, that one wrong step can tear through skin. But for those who dare to explore its labyrinth, the reward is a glimpse into nature's most unlikely masterpiece. Over millions of years, water and wind eroded these once solid plateaus into a jagged ocean of stone, a geological symphony of chaos and beauty. From above, the Tsingy looks like a frozen sea of silver waves, stretching endlessly into the horizon. As the morning sun climbs higher, shadows ripple across the landscape. Between the spires, hidden crevices give way to secret valleys, narrow bridges, and caves that have never felt a human footprint. Here, even gravity feels different. To move through the Tsingy is to climb, crawl, and cling to life, just like the creatures that have adapted to this impossible terrain. Among these stone forests live some of Madagascar's most extraordinary survivors. Lemurs leap across jagged cliffs as if defying the laws of physics. The Deccan sifaka, a snow-white lemur with golden eyes, moves gracefully through the maze, springing effortlessly from rock to rock, their long tails trailing like banners of light. Tiny chameleons cling to narrow ledges, blending perfectly into the gray stone. And deep in the shadows, rare orchids bloom in silence, their petals drinking what little sunlight manages to reach the forest floor. Scientists believe that the Tsingy has acted as an ark for life, a natural fortress protecting countless species from extinction. Because the landscape is so difficult to reach, much of it remains untouched, unchanged for millennia. It's a hidden world within a hidden island, where evolution is played out in secret, shaping forms of life found nowhere else on Earth. The air here is still. Every sound a bird's call, a rustling leaf echoes as if amplified by the stone itself. When the wind sweeps through the Tsingy, it sings a haunting melody, whispering stories of time, erosion, and endurance. To stand here is to stand inside Earth's memory, surrounded by the bones of an ancient sea that vanished millions of years ago. Beneath these towering formations, another world exists, vast networks of caves carved by underground rivers, dripping with stalactites that shimmer like crystal daggers. Bats dart through the darkness, and blind fish swim in subterranean pools. Scientists exploring these depths often describe the feeling as stepping into prehistory, where every shadow holds something unknown. For the local Malagasy communities, the Tsingy is more than a geological wonder, it's sacred ground. They see it as a living entity, a protector, and a reminder of the ancestors' strength. Certain areas are considered fady taboo, where entry is forbidden without proper ritual. This reverence has helped preserve the Tsingy for generations, keeping its secrets safe even as the modern world encroaches. When dusk falls, the stone forest changes again. The sharp gray spires turn soft gold under the setting sun, and the shadows stretch like fingers across the horizon. The air cools, and the sounds of the forest return, frogs calling from hidden pools, nocturnal lemurs awakening for their nightly dance. The Tsingy becomes alive once more, its harshness transformed into haunting beauty. It's hard to believe places like this exist, landscapes that seem carved from imagination rather than reality. And yet, here it stands, untouched and defiant, a monument to the artistry of time. The Tsingy de Bemaraha is more than a place, it's a testament to survival, to the way nature endures, adapts, and creates even in the harshest conditions. In the heart of Madagascar, this stone labyrinth stands as a reminder of the island's wild spirit, ancient, mysterious, and utterly untamed. Here, evolution didn't just experiment, it dreamed. And in its dreaming, it created one of the most otherworldly landscapes on Earth. As night settles and the stars begin to shimmer above the stone spires, the island breathes once more. Somewhere beyond the Tsingy, the forests whisper with life. The rivers carve their slow path to the sea, and Madagascar continues its eternal dance between creation and decay. The world outside may rush forward, but here, among these stones of memory, time still stands still. A mesmerizing look into the life of Madagascar's most iconic creatures, the lemurs. Narrate their haunting calls, unique social behaviors, and spiritual symbolism in Malagasy culture. Emphasize evolution's creativity here, where every species dances to a rhythm of its own. They leap through the canopy like dancers in flight, eyes wide, tails trailing like ribbons of silk, voices echoing through the morning mist. These are Madagascar's most famous inhabitants, the lemurs, ancient spirits of the forest, and the island's beating heart. To see one in the wild is to glimpse evolution's imagination at work, a creature that feels both familiar and otherworldly. And yet, their story is as fragile as the forest they call home. When dawn breaks over Madagascar, the first sounds that pierce the silence aren't birds or insects, they're the haunting calls of the Indri. Their songs roll through the rainforest like the voice of the earth itself, long, rising wails that can be heard from miles away. The Indri is the largest of all lemurs, a creature of deep black and snow-white fur with eyes that shimmer like amber. To the Malagasy people, the Indri isn't just an animal, it's sacred. Legends say the Indri carries the souls of ancestors, forever watching over the island's forests. And when you stand beneath the canopy and hear their calls, it's easy to believe it's the forest speaking back to you. Madagascar's lemurs are survivors of a time long gone. Around 60 million years ago, their ancestors drifted across the ocean from mainland Africa, likely on rafts of vegetation carried by ancient currents. They arrived on an empty land, untouched and waiting. And in the millions of years that followed, they evolved in isolation, free from the predators and competitors that ruled elsewhere. The result? A world filled with more than 100 species of lemurs, from tiny, mouse-sized creatures no heavier than a plum, to the majestic sifakas that soar effortlessly between trees. Each species seems crafted for a different rhythm of life. The ringtail lemur, with its bold black and white tail, rules the dry, spiny forests of the south. They live in large, social groups led by dominant females, basking in the morning sun before setting off to forage. In contrast, the ii, one of nature's strangest creations, lurks in the dark, tapping on trees with its skeletal finger to find hidden insects. With its eerie eyes and haunting features, the ii was once feared as a harbinger of bad luck. But in truth, it's a master of adaptation, a creature perfectly evolved for survival in the night. Then there are the sifakas, the dancers of Madagascar. When they move across the ground, they don't walk, they skip and sway side to side, arms outstretched for balance, in a rhythm that looks more like ballet than locomotion. Their movements are mesmerizing, a living symbol of the island's grace. And when they leap from branch to branch, they fly with effortless beauty, suspended in midair, caught between earth and sky. But behind this beauty lies a silent struggle. Over 90% of Madagascar's lemurs are now endangered. Forests that once stretched endlessly are disappearing, cut down for agriculture, charcoal, and timber. Each tree that falls takes with it a piece of the lemur's world. The rainforest, once a living cathedral of sound, grows quieter every year. For some species, time is running out. The golden bamboo lemur, discovered only a few decades ago, clings to existence in shrinking pockets of bamboo forest, surviving on cyanide-rich shoots that would kill most other creatures. Yet, even in this fight for survival, there is hope. Across Madagascar, local communities, conservationists, and scientists are joining forces to protect what remains. Sanctuaries like Ndasabe and Ranomafana national parks stand as beacons of resilience, places where lemurs still roam free, where the ancient songs still echo through the trees. Visitors who come here often speak of an almost spiritual encounter, the moment a lemur's golden eyes meet theirs, as if time itself pauses. To witness lemurs in their natural habitat is to be reminded that Madagascar is a world apart, a planet within a planet. Everything here feels older, purer, untouched by the chaos beyond the ocean's edge. The lemurs, with their playful curiosity and haunting calls, embody the soul of this island. They are living memories of an age before humans, when nature ruled in silence and balance. As dusk falls, the forest transforms. The diurnal lemurs retreat to their nests, and the nocturnal ones awaken. In the dim glow of the moon, the tiny mouse lemur, the world's smallest primate, scurries along a branch, its enormous eyes reflecting starlight. In the distance, a sportive lemur calls softly, a rhythmic note that rises and fades into the night. The air fills with a symphony of life unseen, a reminder that even in the dark, Madagascar's forests still breathe with magic. To understand lemurs is to understand Madagascar itself, ancient, isolated, and endlessly inventive. They are more than just animals. They are storytellers, each one carrying the tale of a world shaped by time, isolation, and resilience. Their survival is our shared responsibility, a test of whether humanity can preserve wonder in a world too quick to destroy it. In the heart of Madagascar's forests, the lemurs continue their dance, jumping through time, echoing across generations, reminding us that life, no matter how fragile, always finds a way to hold on. And as their calls fade into the night, the message lingers: protect what remains. For once it's gone, the silence will be eternal. Take the audience to the Avenue of the Baobabs at sunrise and sunset. Ancient sentinels that have stood for 1,000 years describe their spiritual and ecological importance, and the surreal beauty that makes this one of Earth's most photographed places. They stand like guardians of time, massive, otherworldly silhouettes rising from the red earth, their trunks swollen like ancient columns, their branches reaching out like roots searching for the sky. These are Madagascar's Baobab trees, so old, so vast, that they feel like monuments carved by the gods themselves. To walk among them is to step into a living legend, where nature's imagination meets eternity. At sunrise, The light spills across the avenue of the Baobabs near Morondava, and the world turns gold. The trunks glow like burnished copper, casting long shadows across the dusty road that winds between them. Travelers stop in silence, overwhelmed by the sight, a cathedral of trees, each one older than most civilizations. Some of these giants have stood here for more than 1,000 years, their roots deep in the soil of an island that has changed beyond recognition. Yet the Baobabs remain, silent witnesses to everything that has come and gone. Madagascar is home to 6 of the world's 8 species of baobab, each one unique to the island. Nowhere else on Earth are these trees found in such variety, such majesty. They've adapted to the island's extremes, from the dry, spiny forests of the southwest to the more humid regions in the west. Their enormous trunks act as water reservoirs, storing thousands of liters during the rainy season to survive the long months of drought. When the land cracks and the rivers dry, the baobab endures, offering life to all who depend on it, from lemurs nesting in its hollows to villagers who use its bark and fruit. The people of Madagascar call it Ranala, meaning mother of the forest. It's more than a tree. It's a source of legend, medicine, and spirit. According to local myths, when the creator made the baobab, it was so proud of its beauty that it angered the gods. In punishment, it was planted upside down, its roots left to dangle in the air. Even today, when you look at a baobab's bare, twisted branches, you can see why that story has endured. They look like trees turned inside out, defying the logic of nature. As the day unfolds, life gathers around these giants. Children play in their shade, women wash clothes by nearby wells, and zebu cattle rest beneath their roots. The baobab's fruit, known as monkey bread, is packed with nutrients, used for food and traditional medicine. Its bark can be woven into rope or cloth, its hollow trunk sometimes used as storage or even shelter. But beyond its practical gifts, the baobab carries something deeper, a sense of continuity, of belonging to the land. And yet, like so much of Madagascar's natural wonder, even the baobabs are under threat. Expanding farmland, deforestation, and climate change are reshaping the landscapes that have cradled them for centuries. Many of the young baobabs never reach maturity, unable to survive in soils stripped of life. The giants that remain stand like lonely survivors, their offspring fading before they can take root. For now, the avenue of the baobabs endures, but it's no longer a forest. It's a memory of one. Still, when twilight falls, there is no place more hauntingly beautiful on Earth. The sun dips low, the air turns copper red, and the baobabs seem to glow from within, as if holding the last light of the day inside their ancient trunks. Photographers call it the golden hour, but for those who stand here in person, it's something beyond words, a moment when time itself slows and the world feels sacred. As night descends, the stars bloom across the sky, mirrored by the silhouettes of the baobabs below. In that quiet, you can feel why these trees are worshipped not as gods, but as symbols of endurance, wisdom, and balance. They teach that true strength is not in speed or aggression, but in patience and standing tall, unmoving, while the world rushes by. Each baobab tells a story. One may have seen the first travelers cross this land. Another may have stood when the Malagasy people first arrived from across the sea. Some have weathered droughts, storms, and centuries of change, and still they thrive, offering shelter and life to those who remain. To touch the rough, cool bark of a baobab is to touch time itself, to feel the pulse of an ancient earth still alive beneath your fingertips. If the lemurs are the soul of Madagascar, the baobabs are its bones, the framework that holds the land together, silent and eternal. Their roots drink from the same soil that feeds the forests, their seeds carried by wind and animal across generations. They are the island's memory, witnesses to its past, and perhaps, if we protect them, its future. As you walk away from the avenue of the baobabs under a violet sky, one truth lingers. These trees are not just part of the landscape, they are the landscape. They remind us that beauty doesn't have to be fleeting, that even in a world racing toward change, there are still places where time stands still. And in that stillness, the earth whispers back, "Remember me." Explore Madagascar's striking geography, from its blood-red earth to its volcanic highlands and vast canyons. Show how erosion and ancient lava sculpted the island's dramatic terrain and gave rise to its Red Island nickname. Mist drifts through the canopy, curling around emerald leaves, and ancient vines like breath made visible. The sound of water echoes in the distance, a hidden waterfall spilling into a pool of glass, deep within the heart of Madagascar's eastern rainforests. Here, every step feels like entering a living cathedral. Light filters through layers of green, butterflies shimmer like moving jewels, and the air hums with life unseen yet ever present. This is the island's true heartbeat, where evolution itself wrote a masterpiece. The rainforests of eastern Madagascar are among the oldest and most diverse ecosystems on Earth. Cut off from the African mainland for millions of years, they evolved in isolation, creating a world found nowhere else. Every plant, every sound, every creature seems to belong to another dimension. 90% of the species here are endemic, meaning they exist only on this island. The forests are not just beautiful, they are living museums of evolution, filled with the secrets of life's endless creativity. As dawn breaks, the forest awakens. The Indri, Madagascar's largest lemur, begins its haunting call. A sound that rises and falls like a song between the trees. Its echo carries for kilometers, a territorial hymn that seems to speak to the forest itself. With their round faces, woolly fur, and deep, human-like eyes, the Indri embodies something ancient and familiar. To hear them is to be reminded that we share this planet with stories still unfolding, far beyond the reach of civilization. Beneath the canopy, chameleons move with hypnotic grace, their eyes swiveling in opposite directions as they blend effortlessly into the world around them. Some are so small they could rest on a match head. Others stretch the length of a forearm, their colors shifting like a living rainbow. Tiny frogs, painted in electric greens and yellows, leap across mossy rocks. Orchids cling to branches like constellations, their petals glowing in the filtered light. Everything here feels connected, from the roots that drink the rain to the canopy that touches the sky. The forests of Andasibe Montadia, Ranomafana, and Masawala are sanctuaries of both life and mystery. In Andasibe, mist clings to the trees as Indri families move silently through the leaves. In Ranomafana, waterfalls crash through gorges wrapped in orchids, and hot springs steam beneath the forest floor. And in Masawala, the largest protected area on the island, the jungle meets the ocean, creating a meeting place between two worlds. Rare lemurs leap through the branches while sea turtles nest on nearby beaches, a miracle of coexistence that happens nowhere else. But these forests are more than just natural wonders. They are the guardians of life itself. Their trees breathe for the planet, storing carbon, filtering the air, and feeding rivers that sustain communities miles away. The Malagasy people have lived in harmony with these forests for generations, relying on their bounty for food, medicine, and shelter. The forest is not just a place to visit, it is a home, a protector, and a teacher. Yet, the balance is fragile. Slash-and-burn agriculture, illegal logging, and habitat loss threaten to silence the forest's voice. Each tree cut, each lemur lost, is more than just an environmental wound, it's a story erased forever. In Ranomafana, scientists and conservationists fight to protect what remains, working with local communities to build a future where both people and wildlife can thrive. Education, reforestation, and ecotourism offer hope, a reminder that it's still possible to heal what has been damaged if we act in time. For travelers who journey here, the experience is almost spiritual. You don't walk through these forests, you are enveloped by them. The air smells of rain and earth, the sound of life surrounds you, and every corner reveals something miraculous. It's a place that humbles you, reminding you how small we are in the grand design of nature and how vital it is to protect it. When night falls, the forest doesn't sleep. Instead, it transforms. The eyes of nocturnal lemurs glint in the darkness. Insects hum like distant engines, and glowing fungi illuminate the forest floor like stars scattered across the ground. It's a world that never stops moving, breathing, and creating a continuous cycle of birth and renewal. In the stillness of that night, under the dense canopy where no city light can reach, you begin to understand why this rainforest matters. It is not just an ecosystem, it's a living memory of what Earth once was. Every drop of rain, every call in the distance, carries the echo of evolution's finest song. The forests of eastern Madagascar are not meant to be conquered or even fully understood. They are meant to be respected as one of the last frontiers of pure, unspoiled life. In their depths, time dissolves, and all that remains is the pulse of existence itself. As you leave the rainforest behind, its sounds follow you, a chorus of life whispering through the mist. You realize that Madagascar's magic isn't only in its rare species or strange beauty. It's in the lesson it offers the world. That nature, left to her own rhythm, creates perfection beyond imagination. As darkness falls, the island awakens. Spotlight Madagascar's nocturnal life chameleons, leaf-tailed geckos, IAs, and bioluminescent insects. Build suspense and fascination as the night transforms the forest into a living dreamscape. High above the humid jungles and the dry plains, the heart of Madagascar rises a vast stretch of rolling hills, terraced rice fields, and ancient villages perched like watchtowers over the mist. This is the central highlands, the soul of the island. It's a world apart, where cool mountain air replaces the coastal humidity, and every sunrise paints the landscape in gold and green. Here, the rhythm of life slows down, yet every moment feels alive with quiet purpose. The journey into the highlands begins on winding roads that snake through dramatic ridges and deep valleys. From a distance, it looks almost like a quilt of emerald fields stitched together by red soil. Farmers bend over narrow terraces, their reflections shimmering in the flooded paddies as water buffalo plow the earth in the same way they have for centuries. It's a scene that feels timeless, one that connects the people of Madagascar not to the future but to their deep ancestral past. At the center of this region lies Antananarivo, or simply Tana, as locals call it, the capital and beating heart of the island. Unlike most capitals, Tana doesn't feel like a place of glass and steel, but rather a living museum of Malagasy culture. Its hills are crowned with colonial mansions, narrow stairways, and open markets bursting with color and sound. The scent of spices, charcoal, and freshly fried sambos fills the air. Women in bright lambas, traditional Malagasy wraps, weave through the crowds, balancing baskets on their heads with perfect grace. From the royal palace of Manjakamiadana, perched on one of Tana's highest hills, you can see the city stretching out below like a labyrinth of red roofs and winding alleys. This is where the Marina Kingdom once ruled, uniting the island's central plateaus under one crown. The echoes of that history linger in the air, in the architecture, in the rituals, and in the proud spirit of the people. For the Malagasy, ancestry is not a distant idea. It's a living connection. The past is never forgotten. It is carried, honored, and spoken to. Outside the capital, the highlands open into a world of small villages, ancient tombs, and breathtaking landscapes. In the town of Ambositra, artisans carve intricate designs into rosewood and mahogany, keeping alive a craft passed down through generations. Every piece tells a story, a history of kings, spirits, and love. Farther south, the city of Antsirabe offers a glimpse into colonial-era charm, with wide boulevards, thermal springs, and rickshaws decorated like moving rainbows. The air here feels different, crisp, cool, filled with a scent of pine. But perhaps the true essence of the highlands is found not in the cities, but in the countryside, in the soft rhythm of life that unfolds along the terraced hills. As the sun sets, the fields glow amber, children laugh by the river, and smoke rises from cooking fires like thin threads of memory. Families gather to share rice, cassava, and stories that stretch back generations. The landscape feels both intimate and infinite, shaped by hands that have worked it for centuries. The people of the highlands carry with them a deep respect for the land and for their ancestors. This respect is expressed in the Famadihana, the turning of the bones ceremony. Every few years, families exhume the remains of their loved ones, wrap them in fresh silk, and dance with them to the sound of drums and song. It's a celebration, not of death, but of life and continuity, a way of keeping the connection between generations unbroken. To witness it is to understand something profound about Malagasy culture. Here, time does not move in a straight line. It circles, it returns, it renews. The highlands also hold another secret, a landscape of hidden wonders shaped by wind, water, and time. Near the town of Ambalavao, granite peaks rise from the earth like colossal sculptures, while sacred forests hide rare species of birds and lemurs. The zebu cattle graze under acacia trees, their long horns catching the light like polished ivory. Every part of this land seems alive with meaning. Mountains are not just mountains. They are ancestors, turned to stone, watching over the living. As night falls over the highlands, the temperature drops sharply. The stars burn brighter than anywhere else on the island, untouched by city lights. Villages become silhouettes against the horizon, their windows glowing softly in the dark. In the stillness, you can hear the distant hum of crickets, the occasional bark of a dog, and the faint sound of a lullaby carried on the wind. It feels like the island itself is breathing ancient, steady, eternal. To journey through the highlands is to walk between worlds, between past and present, life and death, earth and spirit. It's where Madagascar reveals its quiet strength, not through spectacle, but through the persistence of its people, the resilience of its culture, and the beauty of a land shaped by love and memory. When dawn returns, the mist rises once more, rolling across the terraced fields like a living wave. The sun touches the red earth, and another day begins, a day much like the one before, and the one 100 years ago. That's the magic of Madagascar's heartland. It doesn't chase time, it holds it still. Shift the focus to the Malagasy people, their deep connection with the land, spiritual beliefs and music. Show how ancestral customs, the Famadihana, turning of the bones, and respect for ancestors shape their identity. As the sun climbs higher over Madagascar, the landscape begins to change. The lush greens of the highlands fade into shades of ochre, gold, and bronze. The air grows drier, the wind sharper. It's as if the island itself is transforming, revealing another of its many faces, the untamed south. Here, the land tells stories written in stone and sand. It's a place of deserts and canyons, of thorny forests and blazing sunsets. And at its heart lies one of Madagascar's most extraordinary wonders, the Isalo National Park, a realm sculpted by time and fire. From a distance, Isalo looks like a mirage, a fortress of sandstone rising from the plains, its cliffs shaped by millions of years of erosion. But as you enter, the true magic begins to unfold. Towering rock formations stretch toward the sky, carved by wind into arches, spires, and deep canyons. Sunlight spills across the stone, shifting from gold to crimson as the day passes. It feels otherworldly, like walking through a lost continent, untouched by time or civilization. Inside the park, the silence is vast, broken only by the whisper of wind and the distant cry of a bird. The ground beneath your feet glows red in the morning light, and the scent of dry earth and wild herbs fills the air. Trails wind through narrow gorges, past crystal-clear pools and hidden oases that shimmer like jewels amid the rock. Here, lemurs leap between trees, ring-tailed and agile, their black and white tails swaying like pendulums as they move across the cliffs. Isalo is more than just a landscape. It's a living cathedral of nature. Its canyons hold traces of ancient rivers, fossils of long-extinct creatures, and tombs of the Bara people who have buried their ancestors in these cliffs for centuries. To the Malagasy, this is sacred ground, a place where the spirits of the dead walk alongside the living. The wind that moves through the rocks is said to carry whispers from another world. And when the sun sets over Isalo, painting the sky in fire and shadow, it feels as if those whispers become voices, a chorus of time itself. As the day cools, the park's life stirs. Faroes Sifaka lemurs, with their ghostly white fur and golden eyes, dance across the ground, moving sideways in graceful, bounding leaps. Chameleons shift color as they hunt among the shrubs, while raptors soar overhead, circling the thermal currents. The still pools reflect the fiery sky, and for a moment, everything seems suspended: land, air, and light, blending into a single, breathtaking vision. To the south of Isalo, the land grows even wilder, the domain of the spiny forests. This is one of the strangest ecosystems on Earth, a botanical world that looks more like a dream than a forest. Trees grow with twisted, armored trunks, their branches lined with thorns and strange green leaves that store water like desert cacti. Some species exist nowhere else in the world. Beneath the harshness lies life, resilient, defiant, beautiful. Tiny birds dart between branches, tenrecs scurry among the roots, and lemurs call out as the sun sets behind the thorny horizon. This region, known as the Land of Thorns, stretches across the arid south, where rain rarely falls, and the people have learned to survive in balance with the unforgiving land. The Mahafali and Antindroi tribes live here, herding zebu cattle, crafting intricate tombs decorated with hand-carved totems and painted symbols. To them, death is not an end, but a passage, a return to the ancestors, whose spirits guard the living. Their tombs, adorned with zebu skulls and wooden sculptures, rise from the earth like monuments to memory and faith. In this part of Madagascar, fire and stone tell the story of resilience. The earth cracks under the sun's weight, yet life endures stubborn, inventive, and eternal. Even the smallest seed finds a way to bloom in the dust. Travelers who walk through these lands often describe a feeling of awe, not because of luxury or comfort, but because of what the landscape represents. Survival against all odds. When the sun begins to set over the plains of Isalo, it transforms everything into pure art. The rocks blaze with color, copper, orange, and violet melting into one another. Shadows stretch long and thin, and the air itself glows as if lit from within. There's a stillness then, a silence that feels sacred. The day surrenders to night, and the stars emerge sharp and endless over the desert sky. It's the kind of beauty that humbles you, reminding you that the Earth's oldest stories are written not in words, but in stone and light. As darkness deepens, the desert cools. Campfires flicker in the distance, and the soft sounds of the night return: the chirping of insects, the distant cry of a nocturnal lemur, the rustle of wind against dry grass. In this stillness, Madagascar feels infinite. It's a land of extremes, lush forests and barren plains, gentle rains and blazing heat, yet everything connects, everything balances. To travel through the south is to witness the raw power of the earth, not the kind that destroys, but the kind that creates, shapes, and endures. It's a reminder that beauty isn't always gentle. Sometimes it's carved by hardship, molded by time, and revealed only to those willing to see it. As you leave Isalo behind, the horizon burns with the last light of day. The red earth fades into night, and you realize that this landscape, harsh, haunting, and unforgettable, is more than just part of Madagascar. It is Madagascar, fierce, alive, and endlessly beautiful. Travel to Madagascar's coastline, turquoise lagoons, white beaches, and coral reefs teeming with life. Describe the fishing villages, sea turtles, and the rhythmic harmony between people and ocean. The wind smells of salt and freedom as you approach Madagascar's southern coast, a place where the land meets the infinite blue of the Indian Ocean, and time seems to drift with the tide. The air is different here, warmer, heavier, yet alive with movement. The waves crash against coral shores, fishing boats sway on the horizon, and seabirds trace circles in the sky. This is a land beyond the wilderness, a region where the desert melts into the sea, and ancient traditions flow like the currents that have shaped this island for millennia. The southern coast is a world of contrasts. In the west, the land stretches dry and rugged, dotted with thorny forests and scattered villages. In the east, the coastline softens into lagoons and mangroves, where the sea breathes life into the land. The people here, the Vezo, known as the people of the sea, have lived by the rhythm of the waves for generations. Their homes are built from wood and palm leaves, their boats carved by hand, their days ruled by the tides. To them, the ocean isn't just a resource, it's a living being, a protector, and sometimes a test of courage. At dawn, Vezo fishermen push their pirogues' narrow wooden canoes into the surf, sails billowing in the soft wind. They move gracefully, almost silently, paddling through turquoise waters that shimmer with sunlight. Below the surface lies another world, a realm of coral gardens, colorful fish, and hidden giants. The Vezo know every reef, every current, every change in the color of the sea. Their knowledge is not written in books, but passed from parent to child, through stories, songs, and the memory of countless journeys across the waves. Just off the coast lies one of Madagascar's most breathtaking wonders, the Great Reef of Toliara, one of the largest coral reef systems in the world. Stretching for hundreds of kilometers, it's home to an astonishing diversity of life. Manta rays glide like shadows through the blue, sea turtles drift among coral towers, and schools of fish move in shimmering unison, painting the water in living color. Beneath the waves, every rock and crevice holds something extraordinary, from delicate sea fans to strange creatures found nowhere else on Earth. Yet this paradise is fragile. Climate change and overfishing have left their marks, threatening both the reef and the people who depend on it. Still, resilience runs deep here. Local communities have begun working with conservationists to restore damaged reefs, creating marine reserves and teaching sustainable fishing practices. The sea, once taken for granted, is now cherished as a sacred inheritance, one that must be protected for future generations. Further inland, the coast gives way to the spiny desert, where baobabs rise from the sand like ancient guardians. Their swollen trunks store water through months of drought, their roots gripping the earth with quiet strength. Some of these trees are more than 1,000 years old, older than the kingdoms that once ruled this land. In the fading light of sunset, they stand like sentinels watching over eternity, their silhouettes casting long shadows across the earth. Near the town of Anakau, time seems to slow. The beaches are untouched, the water impossibly clear, and the rhythm of life simple yet profound. Here, you can walk for miles without seeing another soul. The only sounds are the surf and the wind whispering through palm leaves. Dolphins leap offshore, and sometimes, if you're lucky, you'll see a humpback whale breach the surface, sending up a cascade of glittering spray. Each moment feels timeless, as if the island itself is breathing with you. But Madagascar's southern coast is not only about serenity, it's also about survival. The people who live here endure some of the harshest conditions on the island. Rain is rare, the soil is poor, and the sea, though generous, can be unpredictable. Yet there's strength in this simplicity. The Vezo and Antandroy people have learned to live with the rhythms of nature rather than against them. Their songs tell of storms and stars, of lost sailors and guiding spirits, of ancestors who turned the sea into their home. At night, the stars here seem closer, brighter than anywhere else on Earth. The Milky Way stretches from horizon to horizon. A silver river across the sky. The ocean glows faintly with bioluminescence, every wave a flicker of light. It's a reminder that this land, though remote and harsh, is profoundly alive. Standing on the edge of the shore, you can almost feel the heartbeat of Madagascar itself. The wind that crosses the sea has traveled thousands of miles, carrying whispers from Africa, from Asia, from distant islands that share this vast ocean. And yet, when it touches Madagascar, it becomes something new, something wild and free. This southern coast, where the land ends and the sea begins, is a reflection of the island's spirit, fierce, beautiful, and endlessly mysterious. It's where nature and humanity coexist in fragile harmony, each dependent on the other, each shaped by the same eternal forces of wind and water. As dawn breaks again over the sea, the first fishermen head out once more, their sails glowing in the golden light. The waves crash softly against the shore, and the horizon burns with promise. In that moment, you understand what Madagascar truly is, not just an island, but a living world, an unending story of resilience, beauty, and connection. Introduce the pressing issues: deforestation, species extinction, and climate change. Contrast the breathtaking beauty with the fragility of this ecosystem, inspiring reflection and hope through local conservation efforts and global awareness. There are places in Madagascar where the forest seems to breathe, where the air is thick with mist, and every sound echoes like a whisper from another world. The eastern rainforests are unlike anything else on Earth. Towering trees reach toward the sky, their trunks wrapped in vines and moss. Sunlight filters through the canopy in golden beams, illuminating a living cathedral of green. The forest hums with life frogs chirping like tiny bells, insects buzzing in intricate harmony. And somewhere high above, the haunting cry of an injured lemur rising through the morning air. This is the land of legends, where ancient spirits are said to dwell among the trees, and nature itself is considered sacred. For the Malagasy people, the forest isn't just a place of wildlife. It's a place of ancestors, stories, and balance. Each rustling leaf and hidden stream carries meaning. Here, the invisible and the physical coexist. And to walk through the rainforest is to walk through both time and myth. At the heart of this realm lies Ndasibe Mantadia National Park, one of Madagascar's last remaining strongholds of pristine rainforest. It's home to the Indri, the largest of all lemurs, known for its haunting, almost human-like song. When it calls, its voice echoes through the valleys like an ancient chant, reverberating from tree to tree. Locals believe that when the Indri sings, it's calling to the spirits of its ancestors, a living connection between past and present. Watching one leap through the treetops is like witnessing a dream, its black and white body soaring effortlessly, its eyes bright with intelligence and curiosity. The rainforest is also home to some of the rarest creatures on the planet, the golden bamboo lemur, discovered only in 1986, which feeds on bamboo shoots that would be poisonous to most animals. There's the bizarre ai, a nocturnal lemur with enormous eyes and a long, bony finger it uses to tap on wood in search of insects, a creature so strange that early explorers thought it was a mythical being. Chameleons shift colors in slow motion, frogs glow under moonlight, and flowers bloom only once in a decade. Every corner of this forest hides a miracle waiting to be discovered. And yet, the true magic of Madagascar's eastern forests lies not just in its species, but in its soul. The people who live here, from the Bemaraha to the Tanala, have lived in harmony with these trees for centuries. They believe the forest is alive, that it listens and remembers. Sacred groves, or duini, are places where the spirits of ancestors are said to reside. No one cuts wood or hunts there, for to disturb these places would bring misfortune. Even today, rituals of offering and prayer are performed before entering certain parts of the forest, as a sign of respect to those unseen. But these forests are under threat. Slash and burn farming, known locally as Tavi, has cleared vast areas for crops, leaving behind red scars on the landscape. Logging and mining push deeper each year, while the call of development grows louder. Scientists estimate that over 90% of Madagascar's original forests have already vanished. Each fallen tree is not just a loss of nature, it's the erasure of culture, of stories, of living history. Yet hope still breathes in the resilience of those who fight to protect it. In the village of Andasibe, community-led conservation has become a way of life. Locals now work as forest guides, teaching visitors about the delicate balance of this ecosystem. Children learn to plant trees and protect wildlife rather than hunt it. Tourists arrive, seeking the wild beauty of Madagascar, and in doing so, help sustain the very people who guard its last green heart. The forest, once on the edge of silence, now sings again, not just with the calls of lemurs, but with the voices of those who have chosen to defend it. As night falls, the forest transforms. The air cools, the mist thickens, and the jungle begins to glow faintly with life. Fireflies drift through the darkness like embers from an invisible fire. Somewhere, a frog calls, answered by another, creating a rhythm that rises and falls like breath. You walk softly, feeling the earth pulse beneath your feet, and realize that this place, this world of green and shadow, is not just alive, it's aware. In that stillness, you begin to understand why Madagascar feels different from anywhere else on Earth. It's not only the uniqueness of its species or the strangeness of its landscapes, it's the feeling that everything here is connected, that life flows in unseen circles, weaving through soil, water, and air. The forest doesn't belong to the people. The people belong to the forest. As dawn approaches and the first Indri begins to sing again, its voice rises like a prayer to the heavens. The sound carries through the mist, echoing across valleys, fading into the horizon. It's a song of survival, of beauty, of belonging. And as the sunlight filters once more through the endless canopy, you realize that in Madagascar, even the quietest moments are sacred. The island's heartbeat is slow, steady, and eternal, a rhythm that has echoed since time began. And here, among the lost forests of the East, that heartbeat is still strong. Conclude the journey with an emotional reflection on Madagascar's uniqueness, a living museum of evolution, mystery, and resilience. End on a powerful note. What happens here matters to the planet's story itself. Rising from the limestone plains like a forest of stone, the Tsingy de Bemaraha is Madagascar's final frontier. A landscape so alien, it feels as though the planet itself sculpted it with a deliberate hand. Sharp pinnacles, jagged cliffs, and deep canyons stretch as far as the eye can see, forming a labyrinth where nature's ingenuity knows no bounds. The name Tsingy means where one cannot walk barefoot. And indeed, navigating this otherworldly terrain requires courage, skill, and respect for the raw power of the earth. From above, the Tsingy resemble a frozen ocean of stone, each pinnacle standing like a mast of some ancient, petrified fleet. Walking among them, you feel as if you've stepped into another dimension, one where survival is a triumph and beauty is sharp, sudden, and uncompromising. Every crevice shelters life. Tiny frogs cling to limestone walls, insects carve their paths across the stone, and birds nest in unreachable pockets of rock. The landscape itself becomes both protector and predator, offering sanctuary while demanding vigilance. These limestone forests were formed millions of years ago, their needles carved by rain, wind, and time into a maze of spires, towers, and caves. In some places, narrow corridors barely allow passage, while in others, sheer cliffs plunge into hidden valleys below. Rivers and streams have etched deep gorges into the stone, creating natural pools that glimmer like liquid sapphires under the midday sun. It's a place of extremes: beauty and danger, stillness and sound, life and stone, a Amid this labyrinth lives an astonishing array of endemic species, many found nowhere else on Earth. The Deccan's sifaka leaps gracefully from pinnacle to pinnacle, its white fur glowing against the gray stone. Tiny chameleons, some no larger than a fingernail, cling to limestone edges, their skin shifting through every imaginable hue. Lemurs, birds, and reptiles have adapted to this harsh, vertical world in remarkable ways, proving that life can flourish even in the most unlikely places. The Tsingy are not just a sanctuary for wildlife. They are a repository of Malagasy culture and spirituality. For centuries, the Sakalava people have revered these stone forests, seeing in their jagged peaks the dwelling places of spirits. Certain sections are considered sacred, and locals navigate the labyrinth with rituals and offerings, honoring the invisible forces that guard these lands. Walking through the Tsingy, you can almost hear whispers of ancient stories carried by the wind between the rocks, as if the stone itself remembers the footsteps of generations long past. Accessing the heart of this landscape is an adventure in itself. Trails wind over sharp ridges, across hanging bridges, and through caves whose ceilings drip with mineral-rich water. The climb is challenging, yet every step reveals a new wonder. A hidden waterfall, a panoramic view of spires glowing in sunset, or a lemur silently observing from above. There is a constant sense of discovery, a feeling that the land itself is testing your presence, inviting you to witness its secrets, while reminding you of your small place within it. As the sun begins to dip, the shadows of the Tsingy stretch across the plains, turning stone into fire. Colors shift from gray to orange, red, and finally deep violet, as if the mountains themselves are alive with light. The wind hums through the narrow corridors, creating an eerie melody that resonates in your chest. In the silence that follows, the enormity of this place becomes clear. This is a land untouched, unconquered, a testament to the power of geology, evolution, and time itself. Yet, like all of Madagascar, the Tsingy face threats. Deforestation, mining, and climate change could alter these delicate ecosystems. Conservation efforts, including the establishment of the Tsingy de Bemaraha Strict Nature Reserve, strive to protect both the wildlife and the geological wonders. Rangers, scientists, and local communities work together to ensure that future generations can experience the awe that only this place can inspire. Standing atop one of the highest pinnacles at dusk, you can see the full sweep of Madagascar's diversity, from the eastern rainforests to the southern deserts, from highland valleys to coastal lagoons. The island unfolds like a living tapestry, every thread unique yet interconnected. The Tsingy, with their jagged beauty and hidden life, feel like the ultimate symbol of Madagascar itself. Resilient, mysterious, and endlessly fascinating. As night falls, the stars pierce the sky in brilliant clarity, mirrored by the shadows of the spires below. The land is silent, yet alive, holding centuries of history, evolution, and culture within its stone labyrinth. It is a place that humbles, inspires, and forever lingers in memory. To witness the Tsingy is to confront the wild genius of nature and to understand, at last, the profound singularity of Madagascar, an island like no other on Earth. And as you descend from the pinnacles, leaving the labyrinth behind, you carry with you more than memories. You carry the heartbeat of a land that has endured, adapted, and thrived against the odds. Madagascar, in all its strange and breathtaking beauty, remains one of the world's last great adventures. A reminder that our planet still holds mysteries beyond imagination, waiting for those willing to seek them. As the sun sets over Madagascar's jagged peaks and shimmering seas, one truth becomes clear: this island is more than a destination. It is a living testament to resilience, mystery, and the raw beauty of our planet. Every forest, every canyon, every coastline tells a story of survival, wonder, and connection, a story that has unfolded for millions of years and continues to inspire awe Today, Madagascar reminds us that the world is vast, unpredictable, and full of marvels waiting to be explored. From the singing lemurs of the east to the stone cathedrals of the Tsingy, from the rolling highlands to the southern shores kissed by the waves, this island is a journey for the senses, a journey for the soul. Thank you for traveling with us. Until the next adventure, may your curiosity never fade, and may the world's wonders always call you to explore. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed exploring Prague as much as I enjoyed guiding you through it. If you found this travel guide helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more beautiful destinations from around the world. Got a favorite spot in Prague? Drop it in the comments, I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, safe travels, and see you in the next video.